Good evening and welcome to WNBA Trending. I'm Ava, and tonight we begin with a story that has stirred major conversation across the basketball world. Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark, who has already been ruled out for the rest of the season due to injury, has now been handed a fine by the WNBA. The decision has left fans, analysts, and even some players questioning the league's handling of its brightest young star. Caitlin Clark has been one of the most talked-about athletes in all of sports this year. From her record-breaking college career at Iowa to her immediate impact in the WNBA, she has brought unprecedented attention, television ratings, and ticket sales to the league. But her journey has not been without challenges. Clark has faced hard fouls, criticism, and now the latest twist, disciplinary action from the league itself, even while sidelined with injury. The fine reportedly stems from a league violation involving her public comments after the Fever's last game before her injury was officially confirmed. While the WNBA has not disclosed the exact details, sources indicate that Clark made remarks considered detrimental to the league in her post-game press availability. Those comments were widely circulated online, with many fans applauding her candor as she voiced frustration over officiating and what she felt was inconsistent protection for players on the court. Now, here's where the controversy deepens. Clark is not expected to play again this season due to her lower leg injury, which the team medical staff has described as needing weeks of rest and rehabilitation. So the idea of finding a player who will not be on the court for the foreseeable future has many calling the WNBA's move excessive, tone-deaf, and even counterproductive at a time when the league is enjoying one of its biggest surges in popularity ever. Social media erupted immediately after the fine was announced. Within minutes, Free Caitlin was trending on X, formerly known as Twitter, and thousands of fans weighed in with comments ranging from anger at the league to defense of Clark's right to speak her mind. One fan wrote, "How do you find the player who's saved your league's ratings?" Another said, "The WNBA should be protecting Caitlin Clark, not punishing her." But not everyone is criticizing the league. Some voices argue that rules are rules, and that regardless of her superstar status, Clark must be held to the same standards as every other player. One analyst explained, "If Caitlin wants to be treated equally, then discipline is part of that equation. The WNBA cannot allow one player, even its biggest draw, to bypass the code of conduct." Still, the optics are hard to ignore. Caitlin Clark's absence already leaves a massive hole in the Indiana Fever's lineup and in the WNBA's marketing machine. Her games have drawn record television ratings and sold-out crowds across the country, with fans traveling hundreds of miles just to watch her play live. Even rival teams have acknowledged that Clark has been good for business, driving interest that has helped the league as a whole. Now, sidelined with an injury, she is dealing with a setback that keeps her from competing and the added sting of being fined by the very organization that benefits so much from her presence. Former players have also weighed in. Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops told a national outlet that while she understands the league's position, she hopes the WNBA can find better ways to support and guide young stars, especially those carrying such a heavy spotlight. Meanwhile, Lisa Leslie suggested that the fine might have been avoidable altogether had the league been more proactive in communication with its players. From the Indiana Fever side, the team has remained diplomatic. In a brief statement, the franchise said they respect the league's decision but continue to fully support Clark as she recovers from injury. Behind the scenes, however, insiders suggest that some within the organization are privately frustrated, feeling that Clark has been unfairly targeted at a vulnerable moment in her career. And then there's the business side. With Clark out, the Fever will have to push forward without their most dynamic scorer and floor general. But her marketability doesn't vanish. Endorsement deals, commercials, and media appearances continue to keep her in the spotlight. The question now is whether this fine will damage her relationship with the league or simply serve as a small bump in the road. Sports legal experts have noted that fines for player comments are nothing new, but they also highlight that the league must tread carefully with Clark. Unlike the NBA, which has long enjoyed global attention and a massive fan base, the WNBA is still building its audience. Alienating the very player who has brought unprecedented mainstream coverage could risk slowing that momentum. What's more, Clark's fan base has proven to be uniquely passionate and protective. They are not shy about defending her online, and any perceived slight can quickly snowball into a trending controversy. We've seen it before when she was the target of hard fouls earlier in the season, and now, with this fine, that passion is being reignited. Looking ahead, many wonder how this situation will affect Clark's long-term relationship with the WNBA. Will she view the fine as a necessary lesson, or will she carry it as a mark of frustration with league leadership? Only time will tell. For now, Clark is focused on recovery. Reports indicate she is already undergoing treatment and is determined to return even stronger next season. Those close to her say she remains positive, despite the difficult stretch of being sidelined while her team continues to battle through the schedule. As for the Fever, they face the daunting task of staying competitive without their star guard. Teammates like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell will be asked to shoulder even greater responsibilities as the team looks to finish the season with dignity and growth. But make no mistake, every game played without Caitlin Clark is a reminder of what the league is missing. So, what does this all mean for the WNBA at large? On one hand, it shows that the league is willing to enforce its rules, even against its most marketable asset. On the other, it raises important questions about player relations, fairness, and the need for transparency. For fans, it may feel like a misstep at a time when unity and momentum are most critical. In the end, Caitlin Clark's story is still being written. From her college dominance to her meteoric rise in professional basketball, and now through injury and controversy, she remains at the center of the sports conversation. Whether this fine becomes a footnote or a defining chapter will depend on how the league, the Fever, and Clark herself navigate the months ahead. One thing is clear, Caitlin Clark continues to command attention, even when she's not playing. And for the WNBA, that attention is both a blessing and a responsibility. That's the latest on this developing story. I'm Ava, and you're watching WNBA Trending. Stay with us for more updates and reactions as this situation continues to unfold.